You would be surprised. There are so many industries where like you think it's like a normal thing. Like, oh yeah, brands, of course they work with influencers. Of course they work with creators. But there are so many industries, so many companies that still are not. Especially for our agency, I work with brands all the time where it's, we're working with them on their very first influencer campaign, right? So, I know that we're all in this space. We're all creators. We've been maybe pumping out content for a long time and seeing other brands work with creators for a long time. And to be fair, yes, there is a lot more brands working with creators these days than there was a couple of years ago, but there are still brands that have never worked with creators before. The best way to approach these new brands, these new industries, is to think of yourself as a consultant, not just an influencer that's trying to get paid to like post about the brand on your feed. How can you bring heightened value to them? Because if you just come to them and be like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be $1,000 or $1,500 to like make a post on my Instagram and like do all this and XYZ, that's just gonna be right over their head. They're not gonna understand the value. They're gonna be like, $1,500 for this. Like, what am I actually getting out of this, right? Your job as a creator, if you're approaching a new brand or a new industry or things like that hasn't worked with creators in the past, is how can I educate them? It's gonna take more work, of course. You're gonna have to like sit down and like talk to them about, okay, like here's all the value that you're gonna get out of partnering with me. Number one, I'm gonna help you collaborate and figure out what type of messaging you want to evoke on social media, right? Like, let's talk about the 3 to 4 key benefits of your product. Let's talk about where we want to drive people if they're interested after hearing the message. Is it to your website? Is it to Amazon? Is it to, if you're like a regional influencer, and let's say you're a foodie in the southeast of the United States or something, I'm just making it up. Do you want to drive foot traffic into your restaurant or your retail location or something like that, right? That could be a call to action. Let's talk about how you can get additional value out of the content that I'm going to create for you that you can repurpose on your social media handles, on Facebook advertising, like for paid media on Facebook marketing or something, or Instagram, LinkedIn. Maybe you want to repurpose the content on LinkedIn to showcase in your network or something like that and your connections. So basically you come as a consultant and maybe you even charge for it. You charge an hourly rate to help them think through these things. And on top of that, yes, it's going to be an additional fee for you to post on your platform if they still want to do that. Heck, maybe you're not even going to post on your platform. Maybe you come to them and say, hey, look, like I love your brand. I love your product. I do think that, my followers, my audience would be really interested if I posted about you and talked about you. But if you're not interested in that, I can just help you with some social media strategy sessions or some influencer marketing strategy sessions and try to help you understand how your brand can, drive move the needle in social media amongst creators, amongst influencers via word of mouth, those types of things. So looking at yourself as a consultant could be just an interesting way to shift your mindset and figure out what value you can bring to them.